What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. Get this, calls for judge firing after Usyk versus Joshua and Pacquiao versus Thurman scores. Ooh, a judge who carded in favor of Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk and Keith Thurman against Manny Pacquiao should get called to explain his cards. That's the view of several boxing personnel and fans after another massively frustrating scorecard at the very top level. World Boxing News analyzed the cards from Usyk versus Joshua 2, where the challenger from Great Britain had solid claims to only one round. Three others could face debate, while the other eight were clearly Usyk rounds or swayed massively in the Ukrainians' favor. Glenn Feldman, however, the most precise round of all the Usyk was arguably the 12th, but the judge Glenn Feldman, who gave the fight to Joshua, also scored that round against Usyk. It's hard to understand how a paid and trained official cannot see the basic things anyone was watching a fight could see, especially when sitting ringside. The only explanation could be that Feldman either got caught up in the significance of Joshua's efforts, or that he's just got it plain wrong. Either way, the American must be hauled in to give his account to one of these sanctioning bodies involved. Some have even called for Feldman to get fired. Hall of Fame promoter Lou DiBella, a longtime advocate for changes in scoring fights, aired his views. He said, a big day for boxing, also a big day for very questionable scorecards. Again, a big day to lament how great sports impues, whatever that word is, its credibility with regularity. Also, the virtual no shame and zero consequences, which is the case way too often in big fights. Usyk versus Joshua 2 and Pacquiao versus Thurman. Another brought the Pacquiao scoring into the equation. Investigate Glenn Feldman over Usyk versus Joshua 2. I remember that name from somewhere. He was the corrupt judge on a Pacquiao card. On Usyk's dominance and Pacquiao's victory, in which he dropped Thurman to be the oldest welterweight champion, another fan said Glenn Feldman is the same judge that controversially gave a winning scorecard to Thurman after the massive hiding from Pacquiao. Let me counterpunch. It's been a case against Glenn Feldman, and it should be. You know, referees, or should I say judges, referees too, but judges, they have to really be evaluated a lot more because they have weird scorecards. I had that fight in favor of Usyk. And even though Joshua hit him hard and hurt him and all this, that, and the other, he didn't win rounds. You win fights by winning round after round after round. Okay? Now, it's arguably, people had it closer, than a lot of people thought. But not only did they have him losing, they surely didn't have him winning. But he had Keith Thurman beating Pacquiao. So I think, this guy, Glenn Feldman, is leaving a trail, and he's been around for the longest. I remember that name from way back in the day. So that means that he's been having corrupt scorecards for the longest. And he's like, or either he got it plain wrong or he doesn't know how to score. No, let me counterpunch. There's another way you could look at it. Maybe he's bought. You guys ever think of that? Maybe he's bought to be the guy that is paid to score a certain way. I mean, that's what corruption is about. Not, oh, I don't know how to do it, or I seen it wrong. No, that's not corruption. That's just incompetence, right? But corruption is when okay, I know that round belonged to Usyk Joshua. I know that round was owned by Pacquiao. He almost dropped Keith Thurman and hurt him very badly. Thurman. Right? So, yeah, I think he needs to be in an account for that, because this is the sport that I love, that I hate so much, for this particular reason, because you have judges like that. And he ain't the only one. Levi Martinez had it 117 to 111 in favor of Canelo Alvarez against Erislandy Lara. If we're going to call it, we need to call in all these guys out. Okay? And it's a lot of scorecards that was like that. The Lennox Lewis Evander Holyfield 1 fight. That was incredibly stupid. They had it a draw. That fight was a draw. That fight was nowhere near a draw. You know what I mean? And, you know, CJ Ross in the Canelo Mayweather fight. Oh, well, they did something about CJ Ross. That's right. She's not ever judging again. That might axe Glenn Feldman. Okay. But guys like Levi Martinez and guys that, you know, something had to happen. You know, they had to have a big fat white envelope stuffed down in their coat jacket or something like that, or somebody laid it to the side in the bathroom after they're washing their hand from taking a leak. You don't know and I don't know, but something like that took place for these guys to score this type of way against a performance like Pacquiao and Alexander Usyk put on against their foes. Okay, so I'm all for it. He needs to be accountable, and it's not enough people and the judges be accountable. All they can say is, "I've seen him winning." You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy, and it's almost like if that comes into question, and I think, hey, you fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice. Oh, shame. You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. I think at this point now, they need to take Glenn Feldman out of the equation. He needs to join CJ Ross. Okay, with never scoring a fight again, because those are high quality fights. Manny Pacquiao, legend. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman, unbeaten. You know, Alexander Usyk, unbeaten. Future legend. Anthony Joshua, 2-time former champion. These fights are huge. And one thing we don't need judges like that messes up the sport of boxing. Okay, so I do agree with Lou DiBella and the writer of this particular article. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of the judge being fired after Joshua, Pacquiao, Thurman, Usyk. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.